edition of the Oregon Sports Network.
And Oregon is going to play in the national championship game.
Kudos to the fans.
We knew we could always count on those guys to show up and make it an unbelievable atmosphere.
Our fans are so passionate about our team.
He caught it. He caught that ball. That's a touchdown.
3 at the buzzer. Whether it be at the Jane or at PK Park or Autzen or MKA or wherever, boy, did they come strong.
You're a fan of the Ducks. I mean, you need to get involved with that deal.
Top of the arc, 3, 10! Hits one a ton toward the flag. God!
You can just see it in the way they cheer and the way that they get into the game.
Probably tells you how special Oregon is.
This is Duck Insider on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield, presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Now let's go live to the Country Financial Studio to talk Oregon Duck Athletics.
First scrimmage of fall camp coming your way tomorrow for the Oregon football team. Oregon soccer started out the season with a win against Portland State, 3-0 final in Hillsboro last night. The Ducks victorious to open the entire athletic season. Green and yellow scrimmage coming up for Oregon volleyball tomorrow as well. And we're calling it a college career for a great Duck who is turning pro. We're also going to break down the Duck defensive backfield today and jump into a little bit more special teams as we get ready for that first scrimmage of fall camp tomorrow at Autzen Stadium. Speaking of football, every year we do some various themes, different groups that come to Autzen Stadium and different celebrations at football games. Try to make football games, because they are so much bigger than just a football game. They're community events, really. And if you're on the distribution list for all of the Go Ducks emails, which I encourage you, if you're not, to be on the list, we can tell you what all the theme days are now. Against Boise State, it's the annual Autzen Stripe Out. More on that in a moment. Students will be in green, evens in yellow. Group tickets, Union Workers Appreciation Day. What I mean by group tickets, there's our tickets for the general fans, but also that you can do groups and we do different themes at each game. So Union Workers Appreciation Day against Boise State. Now, if you're interested in group tickets, visit goducks.com/group tickets. They'll have you covered. Then against Portland State. Remember, that's a Friday game. Cheer with the Ducks and Educators Appreciation Day. Wear green against Portland State. Fast forward to UCLA. It's Greek Day. We expect to see a few togas in the student section. Wear black against UCLA. It's the all-sport reunion weekend that weekend as well. That's where a lot of alums from every different Oregon athletics program, they'll all come back to Autzen Stadium and come back to the Eugene area. Again, wear black for your group tickets. Then against Nebraska, wear green. First Responders Day. Again, goducks.com/group tickets for those sorts of offers. Continuing then to Northwestern, wear black. It's the Oregon Homecoming and the 150th celebration. It's also Halloween. Ooh, yeah. October 31st against Northwestern. Then against Michigan, wear green. Hometown Heroes is the theme for that game. It'll be women in flight and some new letter winners that will be recognized against Michigan. And then finally, Community Day against Washington on November 28th. Wear black, our senior tribute game. And again, if you're interested in any of these group tickets for these themes, goducks.com/group tickets. Promotions, experiences, how to make the most of your game day, goducks.com/promo. I should also point out that we do have a few surprises coming to Autzen Stadium this year. Make sure that you don't miss a moment. Some season tickets are still available at goducks.com/FB Ticks. The Stripe Out at Autzen Stadium. That's the opener against Boise State. September 5th, even sections wear yellow, odd sections and students wear green. goducks.com/FB Ticks. The Stripe Out at Autzen Stadium, our green and yellow sections. Looking forward to it. goducks.com has all of the details. Kiara Romero, turning pro. One of the best we've ever seen in any Oregon uniform. Kiara Romero is perhaps the most decorated women's golfer ever, a 3-time first-team All-American. She's currently the #1 ranked amateur in the world, a 3-time All-Conference selection, the Big Ten Golfer of the Year last year and the individual champion in 25, the Freshman of the Year in 2024, and is at the top of pretty much every category: wins, birdies, lowest 72-hole score in program history, multiple NCAA championships. Kiara Romero may be the most decorated golfer that we've ever seen here at Oregon. And she's calling it a college career, turning pro, and she gave a heartfelt message to coaches and Duck fans alike. Kiara Romero.
Dear Oregon, these last 3 years have meant so much to me. When I first stepped foot on campus as a 17-year-old girl my freshman year, I hope to grow as a golfer, but I'm leaving with so much more than that. To my coaches and teammates, thank you for pushing me every single day to become the best version of myself and helping me grow both as a player and as a person. I'm so grateful for everything we've accomplished together and all the memories we've made along the way. To all the Duck fans who supported me, thank you for believing in me every step of the way. You've made competing for Oregon so special and helped make Eugene feel like home. I'm really excited for what's next as I begin my professional career on the LPGA Tour. I'll always be grateful to be a part of the Duck family. Once a Duck, always a Duck.
Kiara Romero. Scott Phillips has a tear coming down his cheek. But seriously, she's had such a tremendous career at Oregon. The record book, we threw it out when Kiara Romero got here because she rewrote it. She's at the top of all of these different categories, but even doing a video tribute like that to her coaches, and without her, this Oregon women's golf team isn't what has become a perennial power. I mean, the Ducks have been knocking on the door of a national championship now multiple times, and she's going to turn pro, join the LPGA. She's going to do great on the LPGA. Best of luck to Kiara Romero and what's ahead. How about women's soccer last night, huh? What a tremendous Duck dub. A 3-0 final. The Ducks scored 3 goals in a 10-minute span in the second half, beat Portland State in the season opener for both teams at Hillsborough Stadium. Carly Cormack scored the Ducks' first 2 goals, a familiar name. It was her 6th and 7th career goals for Carly Cormack. And then a freshman in Shiloh Baird found the net for the first time in an Oregon uniform to cap the scoring. Tracy Joyner was pretty happy with the effort. Great start to the season, pure team effort, she said. The Ducks outshot the Vikings 11-3 in the first half and 23-7 for the game. Oregon's defense, nails, picking up where they left off last year, did not allow a shot on goal. And the Ducks finished on the other end 3 different times. Few impressive strikes. Oregon opens the home portion of the 26 season Sunday at 1 o'clock against Gonzaga. Sunday, 1 o'clock. Soccer season's here. Ducks undefeated to start the season. Won their exhibition. It was 3 different 30-minute periods against Idaho, and now a 3-0 win against Portland State. And again, tomorrow, free admission at Matthew Knight Arena. Oregon volleyball with the green and yellow exhibition starting at 1 o'clock. More details, goducks.com, but 1 o'clock for the free exhibition, green and yellow scrimmage on Saturday, and then we'll see you at Pape Field at 1 o'clock when the Ducks take on the Zags at Pape. The athletic season is here. We're talking about counting games now. Oregon soccer with 1 and Oregon volleyball on the horizon with a scrimmage and an exhibition. It's going to be here before we know it. Now, Oregon football as well. Turning toward the dog days of fall camp. Getting into the middle of fall camp here. The first scrimmage is at Autzen Stadium tomorrow. We'll break that down. Going to hear a little bit about the defensive backfield as well. Ducks are practicing this afternoon in anticipation of that first scrimmage of fall camp tomorrow. When we return, Aaron Flowers, Ify Obidegwu, Naim Offord, guys who could be real pivotal in this Oregon secondary, breaking down the defensive backfield today when we come back on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
As a local community credit union founded by teachers, OnPoint is committed to supporting the students and faculty at the University of Oregon. And on game day, we're right there with you, on the field, in the bleachers, and in the classrooms. Drop by one of your local branches today and discover the many ways OnPoint can help support your financial well-being. OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
We know you turn to the Duck Store for all your game day needs. And for students at the University of Oregon, it's even more. Class supplies, jobs, a seat on our board, a place to take a quick coffee break. Because we're your student-first, non-profit college store, every purchase you make directly supports the very community we serve. From working in our counters to studying in the classroom, from directing our stores to cheering in the stands, the people we serve, the students, are the very people who are the Duck Store.
More Duck Insider coming up on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
We asked parents who adopted teens to share their journey.
When I met both of them, it was like my missing pieces were found. Like it was just like an instant, these are my kids. If you're considering adopting a teen, just do it. Kids need families. I don't care the age, everybody deserves a family.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care. Visit adoptuskids.org to learn more. A message brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
My name is Teresa Barber. I was in the United States Navy, and I served overseas in the Middle East and Africa. Early on in my career, I had a commander that taught our suicide prevention training, and the very next day, he took his own life. 90% of suicide attempts involving a gun are fatal. My way of continuing my service is to help protect my community by being a responsible gun owner and by storing firearms safely. Store all your guns securely. Help stop suicide.
Brought to you by End Family Fire and the Ad Council.
Duck Insider presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. Joey Mack in the Country Financial Studio. Before you know it, we're going to be hearing shout at Autzen Stadium. No word yet on if the Ducks will play it during the first scrimmage tomorrow. They won't. But in our imaginations, in our hearts, in our minds, while Jerry, Georgie, and I and Dusty are sitting there watching the scrimmage tomorrow, maybe we'll just start thinking of shout. That means something, right, Scott? Yeah, that means something. Today, zeroing in on the defensive backfield in anticipation of that first scrimmage tomorrow. I feel like the defensive backfield is interesting to me because there's this assumption that Coy Parrish, one of the better guys in the Big Ten Conference, last year one of the better guys nationally at the safety position, he comes in, can kind of fill in where Dylan Thieneman was. And then you have Brandon Finney, one of the most outstanding freshman defensive backs, and he would say he wants to be one of the best defensive backs, not just freshman, now in a sophomore campaign. Those guys are showing up on the Thorpe Award preseason watch list. Ify Obidegwu, I think, has really proven that he can be a reliable cornerback. And I say all those guys, and then there's Naim Offord, who we're going to hear from today too, but I feel like nationally no one really says the name Aaron Flowers very often. And I thought Aaron Flowers was just so steady and so reliable for this team last year. Aaron Flowers breaking down fall camp, what he wants to work on, and some of his takeaways of his career so far. Aaron Flowers.
How's the offseason been for you? What do you think you are going into this year versus what you were last year?
I feel like I got better for sure in my aspects I was bad at last year. For sure developed, and I feel like I got better in them.
Aaron, I wanted to talk to you about your little brother.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about the process that you guys have growing up, how one of you chose one kind of football and the other one chose the other kind of football.
So I played soccer as well growing up when I was younger, but then I got bigger and I was too physical and getting red cards, so I stopped playing. But my little brother, he played soccer. He wasn't as big as I was. Obviously, he was shorter. So then my parents were too scared to put him in football, and then he just blossomed and then became really good at soccer. And then next thing you know, I played football, and then he chose soccer, and then that's where we are today.
Do you guys talk about, chat about the differences between the two sports and what you're doing as opposed to what he's doing, and how do you feel about him signing with Chelsea?
No, I feel great. He put a lot of work in. Yeah, I talk to him all the time. That's one of my best friends for sure, even as my brother. I play the game with him every other day. Obviously not right now, but he's super busy, but we still talk, and we talk about soccer, we talk about football, because he really loves football as well. So.
Oh, he does?
Yeah, he loves football.
Okay.
How crazy was it to hear about that opportunity being a possibility as it was leading up to the announcement that sign a professional contract.
Yeah, I already knew he was really good. I mean, I already knew when I watched his games. When I came back home, he scored like 5 goals in one game. I was like, oh yeah, this dude's going pro. And then just seeing it happen, it just really made me proud and just happy to see that for him.
And that's your little brother, and he's like on TV doing interviews, and he's like 15 years old. Like, what's your perspective on that? Just seeing the young guy you grew up with.
No, it's great. I still see him as like a little kid, you know, because I grew up with him in the household. So I still see him as super young. But I mean, super proud of him, and then can't wish him anything else.
So he watches football. Do you watch soccer?
Yeah, I watched soccer growing up. Yeah,
Okay.
I played soccer. I was watching the World Cup. I was rooting for USA and Mexico, so.
Okay. Did you go to any games?
No, sadly not. The tickets were a little too expensive for me. I wasn't really trying to pay $5,000 for a ticket.
All right.
Switching to the other football, sorry.
No, you're good.
What's it like playing with Coy compared to what it was like playing with Dylan? How are they similar? How are they different? Personality and play style.
Personality are two different people, obviously. They just are two different people. Dylan was just acted this and Coy acts like that. But they're both two great football players. Similarities are really athletic, really smart, and really communicative, and then really good teammates overall. So it just feels great playing with Coy. You know, we still have chemistry, just as I did with Dylan. So yeah.
What's it been like seeing Trey McNutt kind of get back into things and go into this fall camp?
It seems really good. I mean, he was hurt, so it was hard for him to play, whatever. But coming from an injury, he looks really good and he looks apart.
You had kind of a breakout season last year, so what would be your goals this season?
Just for sure to be better, you know, not making so much mistakes as I did last year, and just be better in my man coverage, obviously, and then just not have slacks in my game and just try to be the best player I can be.
Coach said that they have adopted like kind of a system that Otani uses and a vision board for you guys. And can you kind of tell me about that process and what you're doing with that?
Yeah, we have a big board process. It has like a bunch of little goals, and then in those little goals we have a bunch of support goals. So basically we have like be the best defense, offense, and then it goes off the field, just be the best person, health, and then nutrition. So I feel like I use that all the time. When I go home, I really talk to myself and then just see what I can develop in. Like, for example, make sure I get the best food, as much protein as it could be in a day, and then just try to get as much catch as I can so I won't drop any more interceptions. So.
Just talk about expectations, comparing last year's expectations going into the season, how things were versus this. Is it more? Is it less? And how do you deal with it?
I feel like it's the same expectations as Oregon, so I feel like we still hold the bar super high. So for me, it's still the same expectations to be the best player I can be and just show out and do great.
Different position group, obviously, but to see the type of guy that Bear Alexander has developed into, you know, one of the leaders, you know, somebody that is a big part of the culture for you guys' defense. Like, what's been your perspective on that?
I mean, it shows a lot. I mean, he really developed when he came here. He's turned to a whole different player, different person. He's a really good leader now. And you can see that on the field and off the field. I mean, he talks way more now, and then he really leads by example. So he's just a great guy to look up to.
Yeah, and what's a good example of him, you know, talking to the team, addressing?
Just like during conditioning, whatever. Like usually, like 2 years ago, he probably wouldn't be talking, but then like we're doing conditioning, he's pushing through it, and he's one of the guys talking and saying, "Come on, guys, let's push through it." So it just really shows like when your leader's stepping up, and then gotta follow him.
Yeah, it's crazy to hear from a dude that big.
No, exactly.
To
no,
push through
no,
conditions.
no, exactly. Yeah, for sure.
I mean, that's just got to be a cool experience, especially like I think post World Cup, everyone's following that kind of stuff, just to see something like that happen where everyone's kind of paying attention to it. Like, what was it like seeing that news?
It was crazy. I mean, I already knew a little bit that he was going pro because I mean the family knows earlier than the media. So I mean, I kind of knew and had an idea. My dad was telling me. So when I actually saw it and it blew up and everyone was texting about it, it was just kind of crazy to see that. And everyone was just like, "Oh my gosh, your brother's so good." But I just see him as my little brother, obviously. But no, he's a really great player. So that was just amazing to see.
Did you play soccer growing up?
Yeah, I did. I played the same position he did. So I wasn't as good, but I was a little too physical than he was. That's why I played football. But no, I did play soccer.
Did he play football?
He played a little bit of flag. No, he was really good, like super fast, super quick, but he was just too small, so we didn't put him in football. So that's why we chose soccer.
Did you guys I mean, at a young age, did you kind of realize that you both were going to kind of maybe not, move on to different things at the same time, but just both, you're at a major university starting?
Yeah, no, for sure. My family, my sister went D1 in track too, so I feel like my dad and my mom just really instilled that into us growing up, and then we just knew they weren't going to pay for college, obviously, so we had to find a way. And then my brother went to soccer, I went to football, and my sister went to track, so we just trained with my dad early at 5 a.m. workouts, and then came here. And I'm at Oregon. He's at FC Dallas, and my sister in Tennessee. So yeah.
Do you have any plans to go over? I know it's probably
yeah, hopefully, sometime in the offseason when I can go to London or whatever. Once he goes to FC Dallas, once he goes to Chelsea, I want to go for sure.
Yeah. Dante talked about turning the page on the Beast Balls, way in his rearview mirror.
Yeah.
But at the same time, there's motivation from that. How do you sort of balance that?
Yeah, there's motivation. Obviously, it was one of my worst games for sure. I still look back at it, look at stuff I could do way better, and then my weaknesses caught up to me. So you got to look at motivation, but you can't be too hung up on it. You know, I mean, it's still a game in the past, and you got to learn from it. You can't be too sad, and then you'll be too stuck on it. So I feel like I'll learn from it, and then motivate me through the season. So yeah.
And last year, you guys had to replace 18 starters.
Yeah.
And this year, you returned 14, including 8 on defense, including yourself. How much better could this team be just from an experience factor? And Lanny's talked about this as well. Like last year's team was super talented. This year's team's talented and experienced.
Oh yeah, I mean, with experience it brings a lot. You know, you're playing with the guys you just played with last year, so it's so we're still the same team. You know, I mean, it's still some new guys, so you still got some nuances, obviously. So we still got to work on some stuff, but it'll be great.
Can you see where everyone's ahead of where they were last year?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure. Because last year we had a bunch of younger guys. A bunch of guys are first year starting, so you can see like where you can be. Guys got better at during the off season. So yeah.
Do you expect to see a huge jump in sack total this year? I think you guys had 30, which was down from 40. The last 2 national champions all had like 45, 50. Do you sort of see that this group, that D-line with Nasir and other people, that you guys can be more aggressive in the pass rush?
Yeah, hopefully we'll see if we get more sacks this year. I play with DB, so I don't really know by the D-line. So
maybe when you guys blitz, you're sometimes in man, or you might be in man so you got
Yeah, so hopefully we get more sacks this year, obviously. So that's the main goal. I can't really know too much, but hopefully that's what they do. So yeah.
Well, I think it's interesting hearing Aaron Flowers talk about that statistic that Chris Hampton has discussed, Duck defensive coordinator, you know, getting home on the quarterback so important. And when a guy like him ends up in man-to-man coverage, he's been so steady, so good. I feel that he does not get enough recognition. When we come back, maybe another guy that's in that category. Ify Obidegwu. What are his thoughts on camp? Keep it here on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
With a new Toyota from Toyota's National Sales Event, you can turn your end-of-summer scaries into end-of-summer woes. Pack a picnic into a 4Runner and hit up a stunning mountain vista.
Whoa!
Haul a bouncy castle in a Tundra.
Whoa! I'm king of the castle!
Or take a BZ to an amusement park with friends. Keep your woes going this summer in a new Toyota.
Event ends August 31st. Dealer inventory may vary. See your participating Toyota dealer for details. Toyota, let's go places.
As a local community credit union founded by teachers, OnPoint is committed to supporting the students and faculty at the University of Oregon. And on game day, we're right there with you, on the field, in the bleachers, and in the classrooms. Drop by one of your local branches today and discover the many ways OnPoint can help support your financial well-being. OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
Duck Insider, your home for the latest news on Oregon athletics on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
This message is for Shauna, my mom who just finished her high school diploma. I wanted to say I'm so proud of you for finishing school. You told me it's never too late to achieve your dreams. I hope to make you as proud as you have made me.
When you graduate, they graduate. Finish your high school diploma for you and for them. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Don't act like that. Don't wear that. Don't think that. I've heard everything you tell yourself every time you felt different. And I want you to know that you can be vulnerable and powerful. That taking care of your mind is taking care of everyone you love and who loves you. Love your mind. Find mental health resources at loveyourmindtoday.org. Brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ad Council.
Insider, presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. Joey Mack in the Country Financial Studio. If you missed the debut episode of Under Construction, don't pull the car over and stop unsafely or anything. Just, you know what? Put it up on the big screen. We're to the point now, released on the Go Ducks YouTube. Just put it up on the big screen. Under Construction. Get a chance to see what it's like to go through fall camp as a Duck. Episode 1 came your way yesterday on the Go Ducks YouTube, where you might be tuning into Duck Insider right now. Continuing on the defensive backfield front, Ify Obidegwu, I think, has continuously gotten better in his career. That's what you want to do, right? But one thing that sticks out to me with him is there was such this focus on Brandon Finney as a freshman. But Ify Obidegwu, I think, really has continued to demonstrate teams don't really want to throw at him. And what that rotation at cornerback looks like is going to be interesting for me. Ify Obidegwu, talking camp.
Just talk about the depth in your room and how it feel and how good or bad it may feel to be a part of a roster that is so deep and it's like the most talking point across the country.
I think it feels good. I think it feels good. Like just knowing like you got good people, like good competition around you, it just makes everybody go harder. You know, it just pushes the room. Like, cause you don't go hard, if you don't go 100%, like you're gonna get left. You know, so like you don't want to be left. You want to be out there playing, competing with the guys. So I think it's great just having the deep room we got. I think it's great.
And just talk about the expectations you've placed on yourself, the expectations your coaching staff have placed on you, and how do you manage performance versus like your mental health?
So really it's basically, I would say just expectations, just take it one play at a time, you know, one day at a time. Just put in max effort. You put out like what you get out, what you put in is what you're gonna get out of it. So just going every day, 100%, like taking care of my body every day, you know, just doing the little things right, you know, just doing things right when nobody's looking. But I'll probably say that.
And then just talk about last season's losses. I know Dante Moore said he's kind of scratched them and it's taken them out of his mind frame, but I think there can be some learning moments in those losses. Mm-hmm. What from last year, particularly falling short, can you take to this year heading into this season?
Sure. Really just, I'll probably just say just finishing, you know. We wasn't really the best for the team last year, so just working on that, you know, just finishing, you know, fourth quarter, you know, our red zone defense too, finishing like we get up town, like during towards the red zone, finishing there, and just, you know, that's probably what I take from last year, just finishing.
How much of a hindrance is kind of the schedule set up when it comes to finishing? I mean, you guys are probably really tired by the end of the season, and then to go on post-regular season and continue to play when it really counts the most. Just talk about the challenges that come with finishing.
Sure. I'll probably just say, like, we call it here competitive stamina, just being able to go for longer and harder. So we just, you know, in the off season, we know we're gonna have a long season, so we got to push ourselves in the hard, like push ourselves to maximum effort, you know, just to exhaustion basically. So because you know we're gonna be going for a long period of time, so it's just taking care of your bodies too. That's a big thing, you know. Got to treat the body right. You're gonna be hurt by the end of the year.
Thanks.
Talk a little bit about sharing the field with Brandon. I mean, you guys both had tremendous seasons as first-year starters last year. Where do you think you've grown, or where do you think he's grown? And how can that kind of come together this year during fall?
Sure. I mean, I'll probably just say just the mental side of the game, definitely just understanding like where everybody's doing, the D-line, the linebackers, you know, the safeties, just understanding the defense like completely as a whole. You know, it's our second year going into it now, so just getting the feel for the defense is knowing everybody's job and just having a feel for what the coaches are going to call like on the field.
And you're one of the guys in the room now with some starting experience, and then you've also got Aaron Scott who came in, and Carl Williams as well. You've also got young guys like Devon Benjamin. Where do you think you guys can strike that balance between experience and youth? And what do you think so far of Devon?
Yeah, I think Devon's doing a great job. You know, he came in just ready to learn, ready to lead, you know, ready to take on what you got to do. You know, he's gonna be a great addition to our team So I'm excited for him, and just I feel like the young guys and the old guys, it should be a good mix. You know, Coach Hemp. If you good enough, you old enough, he gonna play like, you know what I'm saying, like if you good. So as long as everybody just do their job, the young guys do their job, it should be good to go.
Obviously, Hampton was a promotion and an internal hire coordinator, but what do you think so far through the spring and early in fall camp? What do you think is the biggest difference between Tosh's defense and Hampton's?
The biggest difference, he got his own like little twists and turns, but it's nothing too crazy. I would say like a whole switch up. You know, it's really gonna be like a lot of the same stuff, I would say.
And I know Dante said he's trying to put the Peach Bowl in the past, but he's also said he took it as a lesson. Is that something you try to as well, take it as a lesson, or is it more of an annoying narrative now that seasons are ending on big losses?
Right, yeah, I mean, you gotta take it as a lesson, you know. You gotta learn from it, you know. Every L you take, you gotta learn from it, or you don't get nothing out of it. So you definitely gotta learn what we did wrong, what mistakes we made, and just bounce back.
How much of a competition is it with you guys and the wide receivers on it? I mean, it's obviously a talented group. How much kind of back and forth is there between the two groups, and how much better do they make you guys on the defensive side? Oh yeah, that's a great competition. You know, they're very explosive over there, very fast receivers, very great talented. So you know, just you got to come with it every day. You know, you got to compete. You know, it's great competition with them. They definitely get us better every day we go against them. So I think they're the best in the country. So you do that, you go against them every day. It's like you're gonna be ready for Saturdays.
Thank you. Last year, your position group was kind of part of a storyline around the team of just the inexperience. This year, it feels like it's almost the opposite, where the experience is a huge benefit to your team. Just how do you want to, I guess, change that into this year and take that motivation? I would probably just say
just had that same resilience, had that same passion, that same fire we had, you know, when we was young. I mean, it don't really. I mean, people say we got a lot of experience, but we got a lot of new guys too, a lot of new. So we just gotta carry the torch and just keep fighting day by day.
You mentioned a lot of young guys. You guys actually do, but Oregon seems to be the place where a lot of freshmen can be true freshmen, have a standout year. What is it that happens behind closed doors that kind of pushes the newer, fresher guys to be able to get out there and have an amazing season?
I would probably say just we got a lot of support staff that help, a lot of help around the younger guys. You know, there's a lot of people you could reach out to get extra meetings and extra film, and you know, it's just one of those places that's football town. It's just everything we came here to do is just play football. So I feel like the younger guys, you come in, that's all you want to do is learn the playbook, play football, and it's just like, ain't really too much else you could do. You know, that's probably what I say.
Who have you reached out to, if you've reached out to anyone in the pros that was here last year, to kind of prepare you for this season? And if you haven't reached out to them yet, who do you plan on reaching out to?
I probably plan on say the guys that came before me, like Dante Manning, Jabbar Muhammad, the guys I played with a few years ago. You know, those guys in the league, Nico Reed, you know, those guys that came, they showed me the way. They doing their thing right now in the league, so I'll probably reach out to them soon. Pick their brain a little bit. But.
What are you hoping they can tell you, or what are you planning to ask them?
I'll probably just ask them. What would I ask them? I'll probably just see like how is it in the league. You know, how is it like how they adjusting to it. You know, see how they doing.
What excites you about this version of Oregon football?
I'll probably just say. I feel like we're training in the right direction. You know, we getting better every year. You know, landing all the guys, all the coaches. You know, we all got the same mindset. So I feel like the culture is really strong here. It's really getting stronger too.
How does that culture build? How does that culture improve? Because that's a common theme among your teammates.
I'll probably just say just the guys that been here. You know, just the leaders we have on this team. Just pouring down to the young guys. It's people that know what it looks like. Just pouring down to the younger guys and just building up the foundation.
Are you taking part of that leadership as a guy that's a returning starter and played a lot of big-time football last year for this team? Is that something that you're doing as well?
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. I try to definitely be more vocal. I'm not really the biggest vocal guy, just lead by example. But yeah, definitely trying to be more vocal. And as a return starter, you gotta set the standard for sure.
But what's different from, I guess, year 2 compared to last year as a redshirt freshman, and just where do you feel better? Where do you feel more comfortable? Or what's different about entering fall camp this year than you were last year?
I'd probably just say just knowing like the plays, like knowing what I'm gonna get, like certain formations, certain looks I'm getting for the offense, certain reads, stuff like that. I'd probably just say the playbook more, knowing that more too as well. Knowing what my coach will want to call on this down and distance, things like that. But yeah.
Dan was talking about he's an ultimate motivator. Finds ways to get you guys either goal setting, motivation. This year, it sounds like it's the Harada method, the Shohei Ohtani's vision board.
Yeah.
Why are vision boards important for athletes? How does it help you? What's the Harada method for you?
Yeah, it's just a method that you live by every day. It's one main goal, and then there's a lot of goals around that support the main goal. So we go by that every day. It's in everybody's locker. So it's just we see it every day. We just live by that every day, and this is something it's a lot of.
This year was talking about how there's big goals and then there's daily goals. Well,
Yeah.
What are like maybe daily goals that you have for yourself that you previously worked through or you have today?
Yeah, I got a lot of it's a lot of daily goals. I mean, we got some goals like just being a good person. Just helping have good karma. Picking up trash around the facility. Just pouring back into the younger guys. Just having overall good character skills.
Is there a guy you're excited for this season?
A guy I'm excited for. I'm gonna go with Aiden Bridley. Yeah, he's had a good camp, good all season.
Aiden Breland. Ify Obidegwu's a veteran now. I love that answer at the end there, just about pouring himself into some of these younger guys in the defensive backfield. And I am really interested, just continuing on this defensive backfield theme. Who plays star? Ducks bring in a guy like Carl Williams. Who is going to play that star spot? How much versatility does this defensive backfield have? That was something we talked about earlier this week. Peyton Woodyard, Brandon Finney, others were mentioned by Coach Lanning and Coach Hampton as guys that can kind of move around and play different spots. And I keep coming back to the example that's a great reference point for the Ducks, professional football, and Christian Gonzalez. That guy can move around, do all kinds of different things in the defensive backfield, and look where it got him. That ability to play multiple positions. I think especially in today's football with the defensive backfield the way that it is, it just makes a huge difference. Naim Offord could be in that group too. Going to hear from him when we come back. Scrimmage 1 tomorrow. Keep it here on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
As a local community credit union founded by teachers, OnPoint is committed to supporting the students and faculty at the University of Oregon. And on game day, we're right there with you, on the field, in the bleachers, and in the classrooms. Drop by one of your local branches today and discover the many ways OnPoint can help support your financial well-being. OnPoint Community Credit Union. People are the point. Federally insured by NCUA. Equal housing opportunity.
Winning doesn't happen by accident. It takes a playbook, one that works when the pressure's on. For 35 years, Morgan & Morgan has been that playbook for the injured, recovering more than $35 billion for our clients. This season, we're proud to partner with Oregon Athletics, because in football and in the courtroom, the right playbook gets results. Morgan & Morgan, proud partner of Oregon Athletics. Injured? Dial #law or visit forthepeople.com for an office near you. 10150 Southwest 6th Avenue, Portland. Prior results do not guarantee a similar outcome.
This is Duck Insider. Duck Insider on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
I'm a pretty great multitasker. I can wash dishes and do laundry. I can roller skate while walking my dog. I can even order lunch while doing my homework. But I can't use my phone while driving. A distracted driver is one of the leading causes of death in the United States. So when it comes to driving, please, don't be a multitasker.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
How serious is youth vaping? Irreversible lung damage serious. 1 in 10 kids vape serious. which warrants a serious conversation from a serious parental figure like yourself. Not the seriously know-it-all sports dad or the seriously smart podcaster. It requires a serious conversation that is best had by you. No, seriously, the best person to talk to your child about vaping is you. To start the conversation, visit talkaboutvaping.org. Brought to you by the American Lung Association and the Ad Council.
I'm coming home to the place that I remember, back to the land of my first love. Would you spread wide your arms for this wayward son? I left my heart in Oregon.
Back in the Country Financial Studio, Duck Insider, presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union. The theme today, defensive backs. Naim Offord, a guy that I feel can take a huge step forward. You know, we say this about so many players, right? Like, I realize I sound like a broken record talking about development, but that's the theme of fall camp, right? I mean, we're calling the series under construction, not just because of the indoor practice facility that's getting built, but it's an entire roster that's under construction. There's development, and like, everyone's going to develop at different rates, but then you couple that with just the sheer talent that Oregon has brought in and these recruiting classes that have been stacked and stacked and stacked, and here we are. A guy like Naim Offord could really take that next step forward. And why I say this particularly about him talking about defensive backs, listen to the way that he describes his freshman year. And I think that you'll like what you hear from Naim Offord.
Dan said the leap you made from last year to this year, fall camp, is night and day. He credited it to like your knowledge of the system and kind of the defense as a whole. What do you feel like going into this year compared to last year?
I'll probably say it was just a learning experience. It's okay to sit back and, learn from others and see what's their preparation, how does college go. I mean, the speed was way faster transferring to, like, high school. So, it was just, a process. I had to just trust my process, just put the work in.
All right, this is a little bit off the wall here, but we were just sitting here talking about Amari and Bear and Matt and how much they squat 850, 815. What's it like as a teammate when you see those guys going at it like that?
Well, that's crazy to me because I was actually in there to see them do that. So to see them guys squat that much, it's just like I be looking at my front end. I just be like, man, we got a crazy front end. Even our backup guys, not just, Amari and them, we got a great group of talented people, even in the back end, our linebackers, everybody.
Your biggest takeaways from your freshman season, what did you learn as a teenager just kind of getting thrust right into college football?
I definitely say maturing and time management, and just doing the outside things like putting in the extra work, getting in with the coaches, doing the film, all that types of things. And like I said, maturing. Because like I said, like everybody, every freshman time is different. Everybody, it ain't going to be the same for everybody. Sometimes you got to work your way up.
Coach Hampton has talked about a lot about position versatility. I'm curious for you how that's gone. Are they moving you around throughout the secondary, trying to see where you can fit, and where do you feel the most comfortable at this point?
I'm comfortable anywhere because I'm a DB, so I'm a type of guy. I'm a player team led. So wherever my coach put me, I'm just gonna do what's best for the team. That's just for like all the DBs. He moves us around everywhere because you just never know. He wants us to learn everywhere.
Devin Jackson was on the freak list as well for his speed. Can you just put into context what do you guys as athletes consider a fast mile per hour time, and can you compare that to what his is, which was reportedly 24 miles an hour?
That's pretty fast. Well, we do like high speed go drills, so like we be like running down to see what's our time and see how fast we run. So hats off to Coach Boat and Coach Love and them. They got us right in the off season. We did a lot of speed training, and 24 miles is crazy. That's pretty fast. I'm not gonna lie, that's fast. But we be pushing ourselves to a certain limit. Definitely like when we run into the ball, I feel like all that count when on the GPS and stuff like that. So
you're only 6 practices in, but do you have a favorite moment of fall camp so far?
Red zone lockout is always the best. I love red zone lockout because we just compete. We just compete. And I feel like that's going to help us in the long run. That's going to help us just in general, even when we go to the NFL or whatever. Red zone lockout is always a time where like you can have fun with your team and you just everything goes fast. You know, we talk trash to each other, but we teammates at the end of the day. It's just, you know, a fun game for us.
I'm going to ask you what it was like sharing the field with your brother last year, and kind of what was the process like when he decided that this isn't a good fit for him? Did you have any thoughts about whether or not this was the right place for you, and kind of what that process might have been like?
It was his decision, you know. I told him to go wherever, you know, he comfortable at. But, you know, he's a great person. You know, he works hard on and off the field. You know, the coach, you know, they know that he worked hard. I'm pretty sure at Houston he doing his thing. You know, that's probably when they ask me about my role model. I definitely say he's my role model because everything that he does, and like he's a great person on and off the field. I just see him. It don't matter. He's the definition of like, he's a team player. He does what's best for the team. Like whatever the coaches say, he does that. And I feel like that transition with me, like, you know, I played special teams last year. I ain't played much last year on defense, but I did what was best for the team. You know.
You know what it's like to be a highly touted freshman coming in, expectations, pressure. I'm curious when you see guys like Jet or Devon or some of these young guys coming in, how do you think they handle that pressure and that moment coming in here?
They handle it very well. Like when I say very well, I go to their house all the time. When I come with them, you know, we always do film work. We watch film together. I help those guys out, not just me. They go to the coaches, ask the coaches like what I do wrong, what I need to fix, what do I need to do to get on the field fast. You know, not just defense, they also be with special teams. They take everything serious. And I wouldn't just say Davon, you know, Jet, you know, I say a lot of the other freshmen too. I'd probably say this is a great freshman class that I've seen because I was a freshman myself, and to see them boys, like, they work. When I say they work, they work.
Coach Hampton mentioned earlier this week just how impressed he was with where the defense is at right now as a whole, just saying that you guys are able to play faster because of your knowledge and how much you worked already in the spring to like really know just the scheme and the system. Where would you compare maybe this secondary that was really, really young last year, including yourself, to where the secondary is now in fall camp, and how that will prepare you more for this season?
I definitely say this secondary has grown tremendously. We done took a huge step forward. Off season, we worked hard, including the LBs, including the D-line. We all worked hard, and we not done. You know, we still looking at practice one, just every ahead. We just taking every step ahead. We never look too ahead. We always focus on the main thing. We don't really look into last year for real because, you know, it's a new year. So we really mainly focus on this year, and we focus on practice, you know. Another thing I'll probably say, we probably, as a defense, as a unit, we already know what our weakness was last year. So we're real heavy on red zone. We take that very, very seriously.
You, Brandon, and Ify are all sophomores, kind of maybe leading this corner room. I'm curious in the competition with those guys, but also away from the field, just the camaraderie you guys have developed as players of similar ages and put in pretty big roles already.
We in our room, it's a great room, like a great talented group of guys. I wouldn't just say just us three. We got guys like Aaron Scott, Trey Watson, Dorian Brew, who took another huge step, same like me. We are great, we brothers, we all really don't really look at it as we compete towards each other. We make a good play, we coming. Good job, bro.
I want to ask about Aaron Scott and Carl Williams, just kind of how they've come in and meshed with the system and kind of just been additive to the group instead of just coming in.
I feel like they came in committed. They already knew what we had to do to get to where we want to get. Them guys, they work hard. They do everything they got to do. You know, they always go to Coach Hemp. They go to Wadu. They go to JR. They ask all them guys, what can we do? What we need to do to get better. Them some great guys. You know, they came already in the college scheme, so it wasn't really hard for them to pick up on the playbook. So they picked up pretty fast. They two physical guys too, and I feel like they gonna do big this year too.
That's Naim Offord. I want to go back to what he said at the beginning, that it's okay to sit back and observe others. You know, it's okay to watch how other players in your position group and around the team go about their business. Well, that was great. You know, just hearing an 18, 19-year-old now say that. Naim Offord meeting with the media. When we come back, Dylan Williams, a player in the linebacking core that hopes to make an impact this season. Hear from him next on the Oregon Sports Network from Learfield.
At Shadow Hills, we're more than just a country club. We're where family, fun, and connection come together. Enjoy our award-winning course, vibrant year-round events, and the warm camaraderie of fellow members. Our all-inclusive event spaces offer both indoor and outdoor settings, perfect for weddings, business events, holiday parties, and more. Whether you're in search of championship golf, lively social gatherings, or simply a welcoming community to call home, Shadow Hills is the place where you belong.
Hey Duck fans, at Country Financial, they make insurance easy. Whether you're shopping for home, auto, or more, their representatives will take the time to understand your specific needs and explain what options work best for you. Worry less and feel more confident knowing you're covered. Visit countryfinancial.com to get started today. Experience more with Country Financial. Auto and home insurance policies issued by Country Mutual Insurance Company, Country Preferred Insurance Company, and Country Casualty Insurance Company, Bloomington, Illinois.
Your daily dose of Oregon athletics. This is Duck Insider from Learfield.
And here's Heather with the weather.
Well, it's beautiful out there, sunny and 75, almost a little chilly in the shade. Now, let's get a read on the inside of your car. It is hot. You've only been parked a short time and it's already 99 degrees in there. Let's not leave children in the back seat while running errands. It only takes a few minutes for their body temperatures to rise, and that could be fatal.
Cars get hot, fast, and can be deadly. Never leave a child in a car. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
You took the first step and quit smoking, but even former smokers may still be at risk for lung cancer. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know about a new low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early. It takes only 60 seconds and could save your life. You took the first step, now take the next. Visit SaveByTheScan.org for a simple quiz to see if you're eligible and talk to your doctor about screening. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
You know you make me wanna kick my heels up and throw my hands up and throw my head back and come on now, don't forget to say you will.
Final segment of Duck Insider presented by OnPoint Community Credit Union here this week. Oregon returning to the practice field this afternoon. The Ducks football team will scrimmage at Autzen Stadium. I believe at Autzen Stadium. They usually scrimmage inside Autzen Stadium. The Ducks will scrimmage tomorrow. The first scrimmage of fall camp. A couple more scrimmages scheduled for the Ducks before that opener against Boise State. Remember, stripe out Autzen Stadium, goducks.com/promo. All the information that you're going to want before you get to Autzen Stadium with all of our different promotional dates. The rest of the weekend schedule coming up. But first, Dylan Williams, a linebacker who hopes to make a big impact for Oregon this season. Continued to get better and better. Dylan Williams.
Losing someone like Bryce, that's obviously a huge void to fill in that room. How have you seen someone like Devin and someone like Jerry kind of step up and fill that leadership void?
Yeah, for sure. Bryce set a tremendous example on how to be a leader, how to play with effort, and just how to dominate just opponents in general. So I feel like everyone in the room is taking a little bit of that trait from Bryce. So I feel like we try to push each other every single day and just to be better and be a dominant leader as the linebacker position for sure.
I guess what are some keys for you this offseason, and why are you confident that you've achieved what you wanted to?
So, yeah, some keys for me this season was to just fully lock down and understand our entire defense, which I feel like I've been able to do being here for the past 2 years. And like I said, being under guys like Bryce and my freshman year, Jeffrey Bossa, I was able to learn from them guys and able to see the mistakes they made and things that they've done well and added to my game. So I feel pretty confident. Also, another thing for me was just getting bigger, faster, and stronger. So just being in the weight room every day with Coach Love and Coach Kinsey, my strength coaching staff, put a lot of effort and time into me, so I appreciate them for that. But I just feel really confident going into the season knowing that I put the work in and I got my teammates with me too.
One of the biggest stories this year has been Devin Jackson and kind of what he's done to his game and kind of stepping up in this opportunity. What have you seen from him over the past few months in the offseason?
Yeah, no, for sure. Devin Jackson, he's a tremendous athlete, great teammate overall, strong, fast guy. I know you guys for sure heard the stories about D-Jack, but just seeing him, how he works every day in the weight room and how he competes out there when it's like speed days in the summer, it just pushes us as an entire room to be better. And I feel like our overall, as a unit, our linebacker room is pretty good, and we're ready to compete.
You mentioned the strength coaches working with you in the offseason. Yeah, a lot of guys went through different body transformations this offseason. How did that, apply to you?
Yeah, so coming out of the season after the Indiana game, we went over DEXA scans and everything like that. I was around 225 pounds, and I think 17 pounds of muscle and fat. But I was able to transform my body and get down to 17% or 15%.
Can you put into context what is a pretty good mile per hour speed for a linebacker, and then compare it to Devin Jackson's reported 24 miles per hour race that he was given on the freak list this week?
Yeah, I say like pretty good speed for linebacker, around 19, 20, 21 miles per hour. But just like I said, he has blazing speed, man, and that's going to be a game-changing aspect that he has to his game that we're definitely going to need. D-Jack has blazing speed for sure.
I wanted to ask you just how the injury you had last fall maybe gives you fresh perspective in this fall camp and entering this season of just kind of like knowing everything was in front of you a year ago and then it was kind of taken away for a part of the year. How has that maybe changed the way you've approached things?
Yeah, for sure. It made me change up my process and just making sure rehab is a very important thing to me now. I feel like just before my freshman year, I wasn't really taking, our sophomore year, wasn't really taking rehab and prehab as serious as I should. So just changing up my routine and making sure I'm rehabbing and making sure my body's right every single day.
When you have an off-season goal of like understanding the defense better or like understanding the system better, kind of the cliche is like, oh, I was in the playbook all summer, and like, but what does that actually look like? Like when you have that goal of like, I want to be better at this, like how do you go about that? And then when you've gotten into practice, what does it feel like now that maybe you do understand things a little bit better?
Yeah, for me personally, my process was a little bit different. I know everyone says they've been in the playbook, but for me, I'll just go over the film from the games I did get in and practice film and just mistakes that I made on film and just going over that, seeing what I could have done better and translate it to my game now and fix it up. And then we have a chance to do a lot of summer walkthroughs, just getting a chance to work on it then. So really like that.
That's Dylan Williams meeting with the media, starting out talking about the impact of Bryce Betcher. I mean, for guys like Jerry Mixon and Devin Jackson, who have been in the program a little longer, they've been the green dot, the in-helmet communicator for the defense. But then Dylan Williams, developing, getting better and better. I keep saying that. That's going to be my theme. It's going to be my, as broadcasters we talk about if you have a crutch phrase, getting better and better is the crutch phrase of the day. Development, under construction. That's what it is. Oregon soccer with a 3-0 win last night. Ducks play Gonzaga at Pepe Field in the home opener Sunday, 1 o'clock. Free admission at Matthew Knight Arena for the green and yellow scrimmage on Saturday at 1. Talk to you Monday.
In sitcoms, when someone has a problem, they just blurt it out and move on.
Well, I lost my job and my parakeet is missing. How was your day?
But the real world is different. Managing life's challenges can be overwhelming. So, what do? We get support. The Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the